Hey everyone, thanks for watching my channel. I'm making this video to explain what the houses in astrology represent, and basically what it represents. Every house is a different area in space, like so a different area of your life, and it's divided into 12 different spaces, which is 12 houses, and each house is a different aspect in your life. So, I mean, you could think of it like a dartboard, and that's divided into 12 spaces. So each space, the darts represent the planets and the energy influences that are hitting your space, your houses, your life. So you know and I'll just go ahead and explain the houses and then just keep going with that analogy, I suppose. So the first house is that's the house of your rising sign, and it pretty much represents, it's your character. uh, it's the way other people perceive you, especially right when they meet you. And it also is your personal house. So anything, I'm sorry, my sister's dogs. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but yeah, the first house is the personal house. Anything that has to do with your personality, your personal issues, personal people in your life, anything that's personal to you, that's pretty much the first house. So it all gets broken down depending on what energy is there, so what planets are there, and how they're influencing you, and how they're aspecting each other, and all that. But I'll make videos on all that, as we get down the road. But second house, that's the house of your values. That's the house of people, places, and things that you value. It's also the house that shows what you can have to offer to the world as a gift. It's 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 ruled by Taurus, so anything that's pretty much Taurus like material possessions, probably there. They are there. I mean, and depending on what planets are in that house, that's how it's gonna modify it and influence it in your life. So, oh yeah, the first six houses actually, those are your personal houses. So those deal with the interior. And this is on the side note. Uh, it deals with the interior, anything happening internally with you. 7 through 12, that's dealing with the outside world. But anyways, getting back. So third house, that one is the communication house. So it's that's the represents the Gemini also. So anything that's to do with communication, gadgets are there, your surroundings, your personal, your close surroundings. So like not family, it could be family, but it's people in your close proximity. So like your neighbors, people that you roommates, uh, cousins that maybe don't live close to you. People that are close to you, but you don't consider them personal, too close to your life, or too close to your home. That's the third house. So fourth house, that is the house of your home. Anywhere you feel comfortable, because that's the house of Cancer. So it deals with family, it deals with the home, it deals with your heart, like, well, not your heart, but like your heart space, or wherever you feel the most comfortable. That's the fourth house. The fifth house, and I'm gonna break each one of these down more thoroughly. Each section, I'll make one video about each one. This is just like a general breakdown of them. So, but moving on, the fifth house, that is the house that's the Leo house. So that's the house that has to do with anything with creativity, self-expression, romance is there, dating is there. That's the house that deals. That's the house that deals with your heart as far as health. Um, the actual physical heart. That's also the house that rules kids. So either the kind of kids you could have, or the energy that you utilize on how you treat your kids. Again, you could utilize that positive or negative. It all depends on what you have in your fifth house, and it goes like that for every house. So, but moving on, the sixth house. That one is the house of it's the house of Virgo, and it deals with daily routine, daily work, things you're working on a daily basis, routine, anything that you have on a routine. Um, it's also the kind of energy you like to utilize on the things you're working on. It also deals with your health, like health issues. Um, and it's also a house where you could analyze things like on a very logical level, especially when it deals with the things you're working on and all that. But I'll go deeper in all that. So, seventh house. See, these are the outer houses now. So these deal with the house 1 through 6. That's your house of that. Those are like the first. How can I say it? Like it's the first part of your life. So kind of you getting to know yourself. Once you know yourself and you know that one, which is you, then you come together with the other one. So that's which makes the couple, the outer you, the exterior, and that's the house of 7 through 12. So the seventh house is the house of relationships, partnerships, all of all kinds. So romantic relationships, work relationships, uh, sibling relationships, anything that has a ship behind it. You can even have a relationship with your car, with anything. And again, everything's just energy influences. So whatever planets you have there is the influence that's going to influence you and the way you react to partnerships. And it's also the type of partners, the type of energy that partner could carry that you are automatically attracted to. That's what I have noticed about the seventh house too. I moving on the eighth house. Oh, in the seventh house is ruled is the house of Libra. I'm not sure if I said that, but yeah, it's the house of Libra. But moving on, the eighth house, that one is the house of Scorpio. So it's the behind the scenes house. Is the house that deals with secrets, things that things that are behind the scenes that are deep down that nobody really picks up on. It's the house of transformation. It deals with other people's money, other people's. I've noticed that it even goes all the way to like other people's belongings, and it also represents you know um like sex. It represents any like the way you could always look at it is you relate it to what the sign stands for. The house is always similar to it. It's just you relate it as an area of life. So that's the area of life where all your desires are at, where all your you know dark desires, light desires, all kinds of desires. Anything that has to deal with hidden stuff. So even if it's like this kind of stuff, astrology, tarot, all that. But moving on, I'm gonna break all this down later. But the ninth house, that's the house of Sagittarius. That's the house of belief, teaching, learning, uh, traveling, externally, internally. So working on yourself is there. How you do it. The energy there, depending on what's there, is your tools, how you utilize it, and how it's affecting you. But 10th house, that's your midheaven. Oh, on a side note, your fourth house, that's your IC. So that's like um, where you come from, and your midheaven is where you're going. So it could ultimately be your career. There's like your career house is your public persona house. So how people in the public arena, like like the way you're viewing me now on this public platform like that. That's 10th house. Uh, and whatever you have there again is the energy influence you could either utilize or you're getting hit by. It's pretty much like that in every house. So, but moving on, the 11th house, that's the house of associates. That's the house of unexpected things that can happen. That's also the house of. It has to do with creativity, but not in the sense of the fifth house, where I think the fifth house is just creativity internally. So 11th house is creativity externally. So how you show your creativity, that sits in the 11th house. And the associates that you run into that could ultimately help you with your creativity, that's in the 11th house. Things that happen unexpectedly out of the blue, that's in the 11th house. That's the Aquarius house. So that's kind of I would say a very detached house. So it's where you have things that you could do on day to day, or you have there, but you're not so emotionally attached to. That's the way I also view the 11th house. But the 12th house, that one is the house of Pisces, and that one has to deal with a lot with your subconscious. Uh, the things that are in our mind, but that we don't notice that are there. So ultimately, it's like your dreams, illusions, um, a lot of addictions are there, like things that hold on to us on the subconscious level that we don't think we're addicted to, but we are. A lot of that is in the 12th house. Um, some astrologers would say that that's the house where things go to die. So, and in a sense, they're right. So, if you really want to put an end to some kind of addiction, put death to that. The 12th house, right there. You utilize those energies there, and on the negative side, that would be like a lot of that. If you have a lot of influences in the 12th house, it could ultimately mean that you could become very easily addicted to things, or become very delusional to some kind of dreams, or just always want, like, all that Pisces, like, want to just blend in, or like not be noticed, or you just create illusions within your own mind, and even if you have to utilize things from the exterior, all that is in the 12th house. But I hope you like my analogy, and this is just a rough breakdown on all the houses. I'll be back, with more videos on each one of the houses, and break them down more deeper into it, and use examples on depending on what you have there and all that. But yeah, if you have any comments or any suggestions or anything, let me know down below. I also have a tarot channel, so I'll be posting the link there. If you guys would like to check it out and follow it, please be my guest. But thank you.